Hey, and welcome to Grandpa Casey. I want to thank all my audience this particular week. This week we reached that level of growth that we have now become uh, to the point where YouTube has said that I can be financially connected, or as they commonly said, you're not going to get a piece of the pie. But that's not what the stream is about today. More and more, I've been watching, and you've been seeing in my content every so often about how AI is taking over and taking control of everything. Now, AI in itself is not bad, but what concerns me is what's actually going on and what's really happening. Because who controls AI? And will AI eventually become like the Terminator, where it will take over? As you probably have been reading in the news recently, that Google, Amazon, and all of these companies are removing. I just want to pull this up. Eliminating jobs. A lot of the jobs that are being replaced by AI, which can do the job that they used to do, proofreaders. In Google, it searches that to see whether or not you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing and cuts you off. All of this is now reaching a level that I have never seen before. I mean, banks are suddenly closing people's accounts, and I'm just amazed by what's been going on. What about you? What do you think about this? I mean, this is insane. The amount of control that they're giving over to AI. I mean, in England right now, they have AI cameras that watch, everywhere you go, you know, and now they're having the AI camera that now will look in your car and will scan your phones and what's going on in the car. So now, if you're driving and you happen to be speeding, well, it can give you a ticket. If you go through the red light, it'll give you a ticket. If you're holding your phone talking while you're driving, it can give you a ticket. But what really is scary, and what these cameras are now being put into, is everywhere they're going to be able to scan all the people in the car. Now, what does that mean to you? What that means is that, you know, the person next to you happens to be wanted by the government, and they've been looking for them. Well, they see him in the car. Okay, well, listen, this one, we do facial recognition, okay, and now all of a sudden, now that person has been flagged. Oh, look, there they are. They're in this car, driving down this road. We'll send the police and go get them. You know. Now, yes, it could be used for great things. If you've got human trafficking going on and they're looking for a child gets abducted, as these cameras go by, they'll look inside the car and they can see the kid and they can identify the missing child, identify which car it's in, and maybe we can recover some of these innocent children that have been trafficked in. But as more and more jobs are being replaced, now I'm a content creator, and of course the big push right now is what? To go with AI and have AI do my scripts and AI do create videos and create all this stuff for me. Well, where is the creativity? I mean, yeah, oh yeah, well, this will cut your time down and this and that. And that really, okay, that's really good. And yes, when I'm writing on a subject, a particular subject, whatever it happens to be, and I'm talking about a particular subject, oh, learn the AI prompts, and then you can ask AI to write you a script. You don't have to use a script, you can just take it and it'll do it. But at the same time, it's writing these scripts. Where's the creativity? And the biggest problem that I've noticed with AI, with whether it be BART or ChatGPT, you have to fact check what it comes back with. I mean, I have a friend of mine. He has a baseball channel, and it wrote him a script on a particular subject, and when he fact checked the facts that ChatGPT had given him, they were incorrect. Now, if he'd read the script line for line, you know what would have happened. So we're getting to that point where we're starting to become dependent upon AI. I mean, it first started with, Amazon and Google, with Alexa and all of this, and we could turn on our TVs and turn off a thing, turn on the radio, do all this. But these devices started watching us, listening to us, recording our conversations, and selling that data on a constant basis. Well, a lot of that data is also transferred to the government. And that in itself to me is a little bit frightening, because it's not so much that the information is being transferred, it's who is getting that information. And of course, as hackers learn how to get into these systems and collect personal data and personal information, of course, we have identity theft, we have money being stolen, people's bank accounts are being emptied, all with the use of AI. I don't know how many of you have recently saw the information about how the AI now can listen to your voice, mimic you, and where where a person has gotten a phone call and said, "Hey, look, hey mom, I'm broken down on the side of the road, and I can't find my credit cards. I don't have them with me. Can you give me your credit card number and we can then the tow truck will charge it to your credit card and you give them the code on the back and everything else. The next thing you know, your credit card's been hijacked and for use for whatever news." And it wasn't even your daughter calling; it was AI calling. We're seeing actors' likenesses being taken, and I just saw recently a commercial where an actor was put into a commercial that he wasn't even in. And he doesn't, and of course they don't have to pay him royalties for this commercial because they CGIF'd him in. So what are we really talking about? I mean, last year in the tech industry, 262,000 jobs were replaced by AI, and they expect the trend to continue. They're saying that within the next 6 months, about 160,000 jobs should be replaced by AI. And all the problems, of course, with AI, of course, is garbage in, as I said, and garbage out. If that information going into ChatGPT or BART or whatever it happens to be is incorrect or incorrectly programmed, it's a problem. And now, of course, we have computers designing computers. We have software designing software. You have your code takers and code writers and all the programming being done, and then they have somebody who goes line by line and checks to make sure that it's working perfectly. Well, those jobs are being eliminated. Why? Because now AI can look at the code and say, okay, well, nope, this code doesn't work because it's going to send somebody here or it's going to do something here. Back in the early late 70s and early 80s, I worked with a company who had designed an AI and was working with the military. It was a very basic AI. And the biggest problem, of course, at that time was the technology. AI couldn't really do very much because the technology didn't have the access to the information. The internet wasn't that fast. Now, these AI systems have infinite access through the internet and can go through anything and go through anybody's personal life instantaneously. I mean, if you're on Facebook or YouTube or any of these social programs, all your personal likes and dislikes are on there, and an AI can mimic you and copy you, and next thing you know, your identification has been stolen. The other thing, of course, I just saw recently that a lot of their military is using these AIs to create these robots. Tesla is going to have the hand robot that's going to be in your house that will be able to go in and do simple chores for you and cook for you and just like that. And there are AI robots now that they're using now to go in and do all crazy kind of things. I mean, crazy kind of stuff. I mean, they have an AI robot now that's in a parking lot. And if you park your car in a handicapped parking zone, it'll go under your car, pick, and you don't have a handicap sticker on your car, or you don't have a handicap plate, it'll pick up that car, move it, and bring it to another space where it's not handicapped. And from what I'm understanding now, these ones, they're programmed to take your car to the farthest part of the parking lot. And also, as it takes you to the, also record your plate and send information to the police and issue a ticket. That's just one case. But in China, they have robots now that are using AI that are using part of war. They have guns on them. They have devices. You've seen the little Spot robots from U.S. Robotics. Well, China has its own version, and they've weaponized it. And in cities right now, they want to use these robots to go into hostage situations or gun situations and go into the room and take the suspect down. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about AI, and also I'm testing right now the system for live streaming. I plan to do a rather live streaming, and we're going to be using StreamYard in the future. But I tell you what, I'm concerned with the amount of jobs and the economy taking a dive, and now we have AI taking over tech jobs, AI taking over the stock market, watching things and doing things, and taking control. And with AI, monitoring your phone calls, monitoring, face cams, being used by the government to monitor you, it's gotten a little bit frightening. I'm almost at the point I'm wondering, is Skynet already here? And I think it is. One of the things that Apple did a year or 2 years ago, when they came out with the latest OS, they attached and made every Apple phone be able to talk to every Apple phone. So that if you don't have internet, an Apple phone, a mile away, who's connected to internet, can connect to another Apple phone, to connect to another Apple phone, to connect to another Apple phone, and you have internet access without having to actually have internet access. The other thing they did is it created what's known as a neural net. So actually, right now, the current Apple phones are actually creating an AI in brain, a neural net connecting one to the other, to the other, to the other. Apple and Amazon does the same thing. They created I think they call it Sidewalk, or I think it's Amazon Sidewalk, where every Amazon device can connect to every Amazon device can connect to Amazon device. That's one of the things, by the way, you should shut off on your Amazon account. Don't allow Amazon to have Sidewalk access, because that means that every device in your house can talk to every device in the house. But it also can talk to your neighbor's house, which can talk to your neighbor's house, which can talk to their house. They're all connected. And Amazon is getting this feed of all that information. I don't know if you heard about the story where someone had one of those doorbell cameras. And it was a very simple camera. It's not like the Ring one. And what it would do is every time you would approach, you would say hello automatically, blah, blah, blah. And apparently the Amazon driver who was delivering heard it say something and thought it said something, gave an actually racial comment, which it didn't. Well, Amazon heard this from the driver and immediately turned around and shut off every one of his Amazon accounts, every one of his Amazon devices. And he had to fight like crazy to prove that his camera on the front door didn't. Well, if somebody goes in and hacks one of these systems, you could find yourself in major trouble, because even though you didn't do it, because AI is simulating your voice. I mean, recently, my cable company keeps asking me, do you want, we can put voice identification, so when you sign into your account, you can just use your voice to sign in. And I went, absolutely not. Because AI today is able to mimic my voice and do all this stuff. I mean, visualize everything. So I wanted to just talk about AI a little bit, and just kind of rant a little bit today, Because right now I'm at a point where I'm watching AI take over jobs, take over control, and with the advent of these new robots that are going to be in the home, and taking care of things and delivery services, when will it stop? And how many jobs will be lost? And how much danger are we really in? Anyway, this is your Grandpa Casey. I just wanted to touch base with you about AI. Hey, listen, I'll be back with more tech reviews, more tech solutions, more your grandpa just talking tech. And thank you very much for being a loyal subscriber and bringing us to that point where we got monetized. I thank you again. You have a great day.